Hi. Okay, so a technique that I teach in conjunction with inner alchemy work is called active imagination. This was coined by Carl Jung. In many ways, it is also mirrored by internal family systems now. Um, the one thing that Carl Jung, in my opinion, didn't necessarily hook into or emphasize that perhaps internal family systems does a little better, but I want to even triple that, quadruple that, is the piece where when we are dialoguing with ourselves through active imagination, so you're identifying, you're noticing, you have awareness for an energy that's come up in your psyche. Typically, you'll have awareness for this via some sort of activation that you feel within your nervous system, your emotional body, or even just a thought that feels limiting, disempowering, not reflective of unconditional love for yourself. Okay. Um, and so you notice this, you have awareness through that sort of charge, however the charge arises, wherever in your body, wherever in your mind. And as you have that awareness, you start asking questions, you start dialoguing, you start finding out um, what the feeling, the thought is about. Okay. Um, and then you can lead those thoughts to an empowered place, to a mental interpretation, to a mental environment that feels empowering and self-loving and beneficial to you. So this is why, it's active imagination because you're actively imagining, you're actively choosing where to lead your mental holography. And so in this way, it's not even your holography anymore. It's a conscious, intentional driving of your brain bus. And you can watch other videos that I've made. Windows, mental holography is another video that I've made. There's many videos on my channel where I talk about mental holography and exactly what that is. Um, but the thing that I know, okay, this is just access, or information rather that I have accessed that is very, very, very important, okay, is the space and all that in which you smother yourself, you stalk yourself with total understanding and self-love. Because this moves you from the place of judging while using active imagination. Like if you're employing active imagination with a background thought that says, oh, I have to change these thoughts because these thoughts are my bad self, or these thoughts are my limited self, or these thoughts are my disempowered self. And so I have to change them. Do you see how you're just still in the same cycle? You're just still repeating the same energy of conditional love for yourself, and you're judging your thoughts and you're judging your feelings. So we want to use active imagination in the space of seriously, man, like seriously, like stalking yourself with love and understanding and validation. Because beyond this realm, you have total unconditional love for yourself. You understand yourself. You understand why you think the things you think, why everything. You understand it, and there's no judgment. There's no judgment for yourself or any other source stream. And so the way to bring that here, the way to bring those energies here is to bring unconditional love for yourself here. So, absolutely, we know that we have these brains that have been programmed and indoctrinated with all of this fear holography, shame holography, lack holography, right? Fear, 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 shame, shame, shame. And so, if we just judge that as something bad and something that we have to change, um, via using active imagination techniques, you're just looping in the same spiral that you started in. Do you understand the differentiation here? If I'm not explaining this well, please ask questions in the comments. I'm super happy to try to find other words that hit. Okay. Um, and so the most important part, well, okay, it's 50% important to love, 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 unconditionally love those disempowered thoughts, those thoughts that think that you're limited, those thoughts that don't remember that you are pure unconditional love. It's super important to love them in every way, validate them, understand them. Yeah, I understand. I understand. Yeah, that makes sense, my love. You always want to talk to yourself using my love, okay? Because you are love. Totally makes sense. I totally get that. Yeah, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. You're doing this all within dialogue within yourself, asking yourself questions. What are you so afraid of? Oh, why do you think you feel that way? Okay. And loving it all, understanding it all, validating it all from as much love as you can possibly muster. Okay. And acceptance. Acceptance is another big one. Just acceptance. So it's sort of like it's like this neutrality. You're just accepting it. You're just accepting your thoughts and your feelings. And there's a reconciliation in that, because it's like it- the reconciling force is one that accepts all, okay? Which then moves us to the next part that to me is 50% is important, but if you miss the first 50% with the self-love part, this part doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. But the next piece that is 50% as important, as long as you covered the first 50% of self-love, understanding, validation, um, sort of neutrality, in no judgment, just honoring the experience of the thoughts and the feelings. Then the next part is now with your higher mind taking the reins, driving your brain bus. Okay, that now that we've done all that and it's sincere and I'm in unconditional love with myself and acceptance in myself and I'm not judging myself and I'm just allowing myself to have the experiences of these thoughts and feelings and validating them. Now I'm going to choose which perspective, which interpretation um, I want to have as a creator of my realm. Okay. I want to have to bring me forward through my right action now, right action for myself in my integrity and self-love, because I know that I am love and I know that I am limitless. And so this is where, we may bring in some additional dialogue where, okay, and also, this is how we're going to move ahead now. This is how we're going to see ourselves because so much of how we see ourselves, it's all about how you see yourself. If you see yourself with any kind of judgment, then that is going to affect every aspect of your creatorship, of your realm here, you know? And yet, if we don't see ourselves as unconditionally lovable, then we have to love that. Okay? Do you see the nuance here? Without judgment, because as soon as you start judging that you don't unconditionally love yourself, you're back in the loop. So you love those parts that feel like or think like the opposite of unconditional love or somewhere on the spectrum that is not unconditional love. But then you intentionally drive your brain bus back into unconditional love for yourself.